One of my favorite books is written by Dr. Michael Greger, and it is called How Not to Die. Now, after my husband's stroke, I read it for a second time, and it was one of the reasons why we ended up really switching our diet to a plant-based diet, because of all of the research that confirms that this is the best thing for long-term health. Now, in the book, he also talks about the daily dozen, which is a list of 12 different things that you should add to your diet every day so that you can increase your lifespan. And all of it, again, is evidence-based. So while I had been trying to add separate things here and there, I've never actually sat down and made the list or even used the app where you can check off each and every one of those boxes. And I've never structured my day around the daily dozen. And I did that yesterday, and I'm so excited to share with you what I learned, because there were a couple things that were actually surprising to me, and I'm excited to show you everything about it. I just microwaved a half a cup of oats with a half a cup of water. And then I will start by adding 1 tablespoon of flaxseed, 1/4 of a teaspoon of turmeric, which is also part of the daily dozen. And then this is 1/4 a cup of nuts. I'm adding walnuts with 1 Brazil nut. Now I'm actually gonna eat this right now and not put it in my oatmeal, but I like Brazil nuts at least 1 a day for my thyroid health. Let's add some pepper to make sure that my body absorbs the turmeric really well. So it's just the tiniest bit of pepper. Now, I need to mask the flavor of that turmeric and pepper with a good amount of cinnamon. I love cinnamon. I'm gonna add a good amount of cinnamon there. And some cloves. And then berries. This is a half a cup of berries that I'll add in. And I like to mix all this together with a little bit of sweetener. And so that will be some sweetened soy milk to kind of make it taste like cereal. This is actually a pretty big breakfast for me. So I'm not used to eating a half a cup of oatmeal. Usually it's like 1/4 a cup. Okay, so I just finished and I added everything up, and it was about 400 calories, which is perfect. I'm full, but not too full, and I'm excited to see how the rest of the day goes. I just popped out of the shower and I have to go pick up one of my kids from school. So I grabbed an orange to eat on my way there and to check off another box. Time for lunch. Now, luckily last night I made a bowl of quinoa, black beans, corn, red bell pepper, and I'm just gonna reheat this and have it for lunch today. All of this was only about 300 calories, surprisingly. So with this lunch, I can check off my beans, my other vegetable, and another whole grain. And of course, some more water. Okay, it's afternoon, I'm hungry, and I need more beans. So I'm going to make some edamame in the microwave and add some salt to it. Trying to squeeze in more movement since it requires 90 minutes. I'm going on a scooter ride with my kids. Obviously, this is really fun for everyone. You're not distracted. It is dinner time and I still have a lot of boxes to check. So I plan on making a lentil dal, and I also need to make a smoothie along with it to get my fruit and cruciferous greens, all those things in. I was going to make that earlier in the day, but I just truly wasn't hungry. Like, these foods are so filling. So I'm gonna try to get the rest of them in my body. And before I cook the rice, I'm going to rinse it just a few times until the water runs clear. Okay, pressure cook for 20 minutes. Time to chop the onion, the garlic, and the ginger. And then I'm going to water saute this. So a little bit of water, you don't need oil, you can just use water. Then I will grab, I have 2 big cloves of garlic. It's a funny story. Once I had a babysitter cook dinner for us, for my kids, and I gave her the recipe. Well, she put in the cloves of garlic like directly. Didn't cut them. Anyway, okay, so now I'm going to actually cut up my ginger really small. 2 tablespoons of minced garlic, or minced ginger. So it is 1 teaspoon for all of the spices, which makes this so easy. So 1 teaspoon of paprika, 1 teaspoon of turmeric, 1 teaspoon of cumin, 1 teaspoon of garam masala. If you can't find these spices at your grocery store, I just buy them on Amazon. So this is 3 1/4 cup of water. And then I'll add that paste to make it a veggie broth. So that would be 3 teaspoons of paste, 3 1/2 teaspoons of paste almost. 1 2/3 cup of the red lentils. So that's 1, 2, 1/3. Then we will just let this cook for about 8 to 10 minutes. While the lentils are boiling and the rice is still cooking, I need to make my smoothie so I can get in the rest of my green vegetables and fruit. All I'm using is kale. So a serving size is 1 cup of raw vegetables. And I need 2 for the day. But I will be sharing this with my family, so I'm going to add a little bit more than 2 cups. And then I have some strawberries, bananas, and some tropical fruit. I'm making a smoothie. This is about 2 cups of water. Here's the ice, which will make it taste like a treat. I'm going to add this is the petite diced tomatoes. I have drained them, as you can tell. And then 1 cup of coconut milk. Now I want to just enhance the flavor. So I'll do that by adding some lime juice. 2 tablespoons of lime juice, which usually is about 1 or 2 limes. So I'll add the mix that in. I'll start with 1, taste it, see how that goes. Then I also want to add more depth of flavor by adding just about 2 teaspoons of coconut sugar. So adding the 2 teaspoons of coconut sugar, and then I'll taste it and add a little bit of salt depending on how it tastes. I like things a little saltier than usual, so I'm adding some salt in here. So I added the juice of this last lime, a little bit more sugar, and it should be perfect. And that is my final piece to finish out my beans for the day. The kids made brownies, and I had some. They're made with applesauce instead of oil. Okay, it's the end of the day, and with dinner, I got my beans. With the smoothie, I got the other fruit. And with the smoothie, I got the cruciferous vegetable with the kale, 2 servings of greens. And I got another vegetable within everything else that I had in the dinner, and including some part of the lunch. And then whole grains also, I didn't really finish it, so I shouldn't really count that, but I tried. Beverages, I had another one in with 2 cups of water in the smoothie, and then I'm finishing up my last drink of water. And the 90 minutes, I did like half of it as I was going on that scooter ride. Okay, so end of the day thoughts on the Daily Dozen. Number 1, I think it's awesome. I think it's a great tool to reach for, to aim for. It really helped me kind of structure my meals instead of thinking, oh, I'm hungry, what should I make? It was, how can I fit what I need into the box? The movement challenge has been fun as I'm biking. It was also fun because it gave me an excuse to go on a scooter ride with my kids. It kept me more active than I normally would be. I'm pretty busy with my kids. We have dance parties and all the things, but I wouldn't say on a normal day that's up to 90 minutes plus my regular workout. So it definitely encourages you to be pretty active. Would I recommend the Daily Dozen to everyone? Truthfully, no. If you're a perfectionist, there's almost so many goals that it's so difficult to obtain that you may feel bad about yourself because you didn't reach them all. But personally, I was fine with it. I'm not a perfectionist, so I wasn't reaching for perfection, but it was a great goal for me to aim at, and I'm okay that I didn't quite get there. So if you're like me, then definitely try it. Again, if you're a perfectionist, it may not be the best way for you to eat your plant-based vegan diet. If you love this video, make sure to follow my other videos where I share a lot of amazing vegan plant-based recipes. And of course, if you haven't already, click on the link below to get your free 1-week plant-based meal plan so that you can try out some of these incredible recipes and start to feel better and live longer. Thanks so much, and I will see you next week.